If you asked me my thoughts on pursuing a master's degree before the year 2020, then I would have chuckled. The fact is, even during my first 2 years at UNC Chapel Hill gaining my bachelor's for studio art, I questioned if getting a degree was worth it. I was of the mindset that getting a degree for art was pointless because even with the degree, it would in no way guarantee I was going to get work afterwards. And to be honest, there's a lot of truth to that. Listing my bachelor degree on my resume has yet to give me any work as an animator or artist. A degree in most artistic fields, especially animation, holds little to no weight in most eyes of hiring studios or companies. That said, during the COVID-19 pandemic, two things would soon happen that would change my perspective and inspire me to want to gain my master's degree in animation. During early 2020, the first life-changing moment happened to me. I was working on an oil painting and listening to the Bancroft Brothers podcast. A typical occurrence for me because I enjoyed the comical humor of the podcast that the hosts Tom and Tony brought to it, as well as the inspiring interviews they conducted with legendary animators such as Glenn Keane, Aaron Blaze, Brad Bird, and hundreds of other exceptional artists and animators. Except, this episode, Tom was discussing a new master's program for animation that he was starting at Lipscomb University in Nashville, Tennessee. I had already been following the undergraduate animation program at Lipscomb that Tom had started, and at this point, the program was starting to garner some serious attention because quite a few of their students were already working in the industry while pursuing their degrees. Not to mention the fact that the school had 5 former Disney animators teaching and leading the program. And Lipscomb was in Nashville, Tennessee. Another bonus for me because it was only the next state over. The Bancroft brothers were really bringing animation to the East Coast. But what really caught my attention was what the program offered. The master's program really wasn't just like any other program out there that teaches you the basics about animation and building a portfolio that will break you into the industry. This program was geared towards creators looking to bring their original ideas to life. Lipscomb was looking for students who had ideas for an animated show or short film that could act as their thesis. Essentially, we would be taking this thesis film and developing it throughout the program while being provided with courses that would give us the knowledge and the tools to complete it. The purpose of the program is to teach you how to develop your film and pitch it. After hearing this, I immediately knew this was for me. I felt a calling from God as if He was showing me that this was the path for my life. My dream has always been to one day start my own animation studio and lead a team of artists and storytellers to create great films. And now there is a place that I could go that will help me learn what I need to know to do just that. And from guys who had already done it all themselves. Tom and Tony Bancroft have an incredible amount of experience as former Disney animators, and they created and animated some of the most beloved characters, such as Mushu, Pumbaa, Kronk, and many, many others. Tom was even launching his own animation studio, Pencilish Studios, that would produce original content and shows on YouTube. And with the addition of the co-founder of Don Bluth Studios, Mr. John Pomeroy, and co-creator of VeggieTales, Mr. Mike Naraki, the depth of professionally experienced professors was deep. I would have been a fool to let the opportunity pass me up. I knew this would be everything I needed to raise the bar and surround myself with people who had the knowledge and experience to get me to where I want. The only issue was I needed to raise my current GPA of a 2.3 to above a 3.0. And this is where the second life-changing moment happened in my life that would completely change my perspective on my life and the importance of education. My ambition for anything academic related has always been a bit lackluster. I was always willing to do just enough to get the grade I needed to not damage my eligibility as an athlete, but never any more than that. I viewed many courses as pointless and just another class that I needed to pass to get closer to graduating and getting the hell out of there so that I could get to what I really wanted to do. And at that time, my GPA reflected this apathetic attitude. I had a 2.3, and after I found out that I needed at least a 3.0 to be considered for Lipscomb, I had realized I made things much harder for myself. But during the pandemic, on June 21st, 2020, I met the love of my life, my now fiance and mother of our daughter. When I tell you I wouldn't be where I am today, I mean it with everything in me. She showed me the importance of education and how I should love learning, regardless of the subject. All knowledge is useful, even if you don't necessarily directly need to know it for your career. She helped me fall in love with learning something new every day and pushed me to step outside of my comfort zone so that I could grow. My attitude and performance in the classroom changed as a direct result from her, and by the time I graduated, I had elevated my GPA to a 3.1. I honestly can say that that was one of the most proudest moments of my life, and I couldn't have been more grateful for my fiance. I had gathered the GPA I needed and developed a strong portfolio. I was ready to apply. On December 20th, 2022, I was officially accepted to start the program in the fall of 2023. I couldn't have been happier or prouder of what we had done. And I say we because this wouldn't have been possible without the support and belief from my fiance, family, and friends. But what I think makes me more happier than my acceptance was what I took away from this whole experience. There are a lot of artists and people out there that didn't have this kind of experience that I had and will discourage others from going to college or art school. But coming from a person who originally felt this way for the longest time, I think our culture needs to change the way we view our education. The value of some of these programs extends beyond just the courses you take and the degree you get at the end of it. Instead of viewing colleges as just a place you go to for a few years to get a degree and then go off to start your career, we should view it as a life experience. One that puts a student into an atmosphere of learning and connects you to a wide diversity of people with different cultures, backgrounds, and goals. College and art schools hold potential for positive life-changing experience, as it was for me. Now, I understand that school is not the right environment for everyone, and just because I had a positive experience does not mean that you will, so be self-aware. Everyone's situation is different. Self-awareness is the key to making the best decision for yourself, so trust your gut. The education system has a lot of issues, and not everything about the structure of our academic system I agree with. The structure of school can be very political and frustrating, so do what is best for you. That said, I hope you enjoyed this video and got something from me sharing my story. At the time of this video, I'm going to be starting online courses this fall in August, and we'll be moving our little family to Nashville, Tennessee in the spring. My plan is to share every part of that journey on here as I navigate and make my way through the program and obtain my master's. So if you want to see that journey, if you want to follow my story and everything I do, then please make sure to subscribe. It's been a long time since I've revisited YouTube, and I've really missed making these videos. I have a lot of great content planned for you guys, and things are going to be way more consistent. As I mentioned earlier, my dream is to one day have an animation studio, and this is the start of that. Badger Studios is my animation studio, and if you want to watch every step of me creating and building the studio into what I know it has the potential to be, then make sure you press that button, subscribe, follow, and share this with anybody you think that might get something from it or enjoy. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for watching this, and I'm just so glad and happy to be back. This is the test. If you had asked me my thoughts on pursuing a master's degree before the year 2020, then I would have chuckled.